What's up, my YouTube friends? Welcome to this video. So in the last 30 days, I spent 200K for one of my clients, making them over 1.1 million from Facebook ads. And today we're talking about why scaling breaks your ROAS. Pretty much why. It's like, Manel, why does my ROAS break when I scale my budget? Typical thing. I think this is pretty much the most important thing when it comes to scaling Facebook ads, when it comes to scaling an e-com brand, using ads, and do this consistently, generating growth. As you can see in this specific example, this is another one of the accounts that I operate. And as you can see, for this specific account, for a long time, we've been stuck at a limit of 30K a month in ad spend. This is a super high AOB with low profit margin. And so this month, we've doubled in ad spend. And you can see that I've been able to increase my budget consistently every single month for, I don't know, what's this, 6 months straight. Very few people do this, no matter where the ad account is, right? So let's see in this video what to do instead. And again, number one question that I solve in every single one of my group coachings, it's always the same thing. I try to go, everyone has a different case. For you, I don't know what it is, but it's usually I go past 1K and ROAS goes down. I go past 500 a day and ROAS goes down. I try to scale to 5K a day in ad spend and ROAS goes down. Everything breaks. Why? And the fact that you don't understand why will lead you to not knowing how to solve it and pretty much be stuck there. So it's a typical thing, and you see it here. As soon you see here amount spent, and you can see here ROAS. So as soon as I decrease my budget here, my ROAS goes up. And then as soon as I increase my budget here, I hit a bottom in my ROAS. And it's usually the same thing. Make another pick here, ROAS goes down. So it's always the same thing, and it will go down. The question is, does it go down to ROAS 1 or 2? Or do at least I stay at ROAS of 5? This is a ROAS of 5, which is good for me at scale. So that's the number one question. And again, as I mentioned, how did I double my budget pretty much starting at, well, actually this was a month where we were spending around 20K a month, and here we're spending 60K. So it's tripling the budget on a specific ad account in the space of 6 months. And as you can see here, maintaining a cost per purchase lower than 20. This is 20 right here. So lower than 20, while going from, what is this, 1K orders, so 1,000 orders per month, you can see it there, 1,000 orders per month, all the way up to, I mean, this is April, but it's not finished, but 100% we're gonna pass 3,000 orders. So 3x in orders, this is huge, without, look at the CPA. CPA never goes above 20, never. How do we do this? Hard work. Nah, just kidding, you gotta be smart. So let's understand why does this happen, and that's gonna be the aim of the video, understanding why it happens and giving you the tools. Because again, this is what I do in every single group coaching call and every single one-on-one after I've trained everybody, after giving the workshops, the online course, the everything. Once everybody knows my strategy, the horizontal scaling, the manual building, the intradays, the creatives, once everybody implements this, everybody can scale till a certain limit. And the question is, once we hit this limit of daily budget, what do we do? So usually your ROAS will break because of bottlenecks, because of correlation of different metrics, and because of scaling mistakes, okay? The first thing is I want you to understand ROAS, which is revenue per visit divided by cost per visit, so CPC. And if you break it down even deeper, it's AOB times conversion rate divided by CPM, which is again divided by CTR times 1,000. What I'm trying to give you from here is an understanding of your ROAS. And what are the components of your ROAS? AOB, conversion rate, CTR, CPM. Okay, so I know that AOB and conversion rate is revenue per visit, and then CTR and CPM is the CPC. So the first thing that I want you to learn and extract from this video is that as soon as you see a problem in the ROAS, don't be stuck there and be like, yeah, my ROAS went down, I've got a decreased budget. No, you go to any of these metrics and you find correlations, you find causalities, you find why, what thing is breaking, when ROAS breaks. And after that, you ask yourself, how do I fix this? And usually the how do I fix this, I would give it to you. But in this case, you have to find it by yourself. But that's the main thing behind, with a lot of years running this ad account, we can have months of doing something as wild as this. And this year we're spending much less than last year, but we're producing a lot more revenue. So you can imagine the level of profit. Now, typical mistake is usually overscaling. There are members of the program that as soon as they find a winner, they start doubling budget until the ad set breaks. It's just too much, right? So you gotta be smooth. And this increasing purchases, again, as I mentioned, from 1K a month to 3K a month orders, this has been done through smooth scaling. And I love hyperscaling. Like in specific moments, I still do my intraday scaling, my hyperscaling, taking risks, but these are calculated risks. I'm not hyperscaling every single day and doubling budgets. That's not something that I do. Just the machine is gonna punish you for that. It's just gonna break. No learning phase, no anything. It's too demanding. And then the other thing is you need to become really, really smart. And this is something that not that I'm talented, but because I have a little bit of a background in stock trading and all of this graft, and I learned all this technical analysis, that gave me an advantage against other media buyers to spot trends, spot issues, see the correlation in between different metrics, and essentially make a prediction of what's going to happen or understand a correlation. And this is very simple. Now that you see it here, this is super simple. So in this case, this is December for one ad account, and we see that the ROAS was good here, it was good here, it was good here, and then here not bad, let's say, but here it's risky. It's a risky level of ROAS. I don't like this. Now, if I would try to understand why is everything trending down, I would start to look at correlations to find causalities. And one causality here is CPC against ROAS. And I see that as soon as we would say my CPC, let's say here was very high, so the ROAS is low, I lower my CPC and my ROAS goes up. Here is still good. It's still good. And now as soon as my CPC starts to go up, let's say I can see that my ROAS stays low. Possible correlation. It's never super clear. But what you try to understand is my ROAS going down because my CPC is going up? Yes or no? So you have to find the specific day when your ROAS breaks, and from there it goes to disaster, and see if the same happens with the CPC. My CPC starts to go up here. Boom, goes up. Okay, there's something in here. And then after that, you have to go deeper and see why is my CPC going up? And you would do the same thing again for CTR and for CPM. Because remember, CPC is CTR and CPM. So from this case, it was not the CPM, it was the CTR. So I see that as soon as my ROAS starts to go down here, I see that around here, my CTR starts to go down. It goes from 1.3, 1.4% all the way down to 0.8. It's quite a lot, right? It's like 0.6 points. So I'm losing CTR. And then after this, I would sit and think, why could my CTR decrease? And make 5 hypotheses. And then you have to troubleshoot that and find the issues and solve the problems, which is the real skill. Number 1 is detecting why I have a problem, which is the bottleneck. And number 2, you dig deep and you find why. The wrong approach is always, playing the victim role. So, which would be this, not understanding why. So I don't know why my ROAS is going down. I'm just gonna decrease the budget. Of course, decrease. Yeah, of course. We're not gonna burn any money here, but just decrease. Okay, so if you get to $1,000 a day in ad spend, and then everything breaks, and you go back to 700, what did you learn? Then you go back to 700, everything good. Okay, what do you think is gonna happen next month when you try to scale to 1,000? Everything's gonna break again because you did not find any real solution. So, and it's tough and it's hard work, but you have to do it. And the other one is, this is the craziest one, for rich people only. They say, keep on scaling the budget, the machine has to learn. So you have to go through days of losses, spending 1,000 a day for 5 days straight, just to see if maybe on day 6, things will magically solve. And bottlenecks like this are gonna magically be solved. And then your CTR, with the same ads and doing the same thing, your CTR is gonna go to 3% because the machine learned. Yeah, no, I think it's not how it works. At least in my accounts, I'm not as lucky. Now, typical reasons why ROAS breaks when you try to scale, and let's see them one by one. So number one, scaling too fast, budget deviations, creative fatigue, auction overlap, and unaware. So scaling too fast is just what I mentioned. You want to do it smoothly, respect the learning phase, and only hyperscale in specific days. But don't double budget every single day. Like, it's pretty clear. And again, see this scaling. It took December to April. It's a lot of time. So smooth, profitable, easy. Budget deviations. This is a very important one. So essentially, well, let's do it with the example. Imagine you're spending $700 per day and you go to 1,000 per day. So this is plus 300. Now, it could be the case that this new, let's say new 300, it could be the case that they go to the right audience, but it can also be the case that Facebook starts delivering budget to random audiences. So the question you need to solve here is, or the question that I would make you on a coaching call is, when you increased the budget on a specific, from a specific day, so you increased the budget on April 20th, so from April 20th, do you see a deviation on the age? So budget deviation would be a Facebook mistake, to put it simple. So did you start spending money on older people who never convert? No, I'm still spending money on younger generations, which is my target customer. Okay. If you're going broad, did the Advantage Plus campaigns randomly start spending money on the wrong gender? I remember a coaching client that was selling lingerie and they were targeting men. They were spending money on men. The right target was women, of course, but they were spending money on men. I guess because some men were clicking the ads of this lingerie, the ads were quite sexy. So I guess some men were clicking the ads and Facebook would see engagement and they would start spending more money on men, but they're not going to buy. So it's the wrong thing. But if you start scaling and these new 300 go to men, that's a mistake. And if you don't do these breakdowns and you see the budget deviation, you will scale back to 700. And then once you scale next month again to 1,000, you will be like, again, the same. It's the ad account that is broken and I cannot scale past 1,000. And then the country thing. So you can see it here, the exercises that I do for country. So I would say, to give you an example, in the reports on Meta, I would do, what is this? I would do last 30 days compared to previous year. And then I go here, and what I can see, just to give you an example, in this case, let's say this is April, and you can say, for example, a very big success here was the United Kingdom, because we increased the amount spent by only 32%, and the increase in purchases was of 82%. So this is a big success. In the US, for several reasons with tariffs and stuff, we had to decrease budget a little bit by 36%. But it's okay because my sales did not decrease by 36%. They only decreased by 10%. So this is also a success. And like this, with every single country, whenever we see changes. So France, for example, big opportunity in France, Netherlands, big opportunity, a bunch of stuff. And another case here, what is this? This is March 25 versus March 25. So this is not against last year, this is against previous period. So what we can see here, for example, is in countries, US, we increased the budget by 51%, and my sales only grew by 35%. This looks good, but it's actually bad, because this means CPA goes up. You need to know how to read the data. So, but then it's the opposite in the United Kingdom, because, no, it's the same thing, sorry. 56% and only increase in purchases of 33%. So it's the same problem. My increase in budget becomes an increase in CPA, okay? And I mean, Germany, it's even worse. So if you look at Germany, increase the budget by 62%, but then my purchases only increased by 4.55. It's a problem. It's a problem. So I'm not being efficient here. Then you would need to find exactly why. The reason in this case would not be the country, but it's one of the breakdowns. Then product. Am I spending money on the wrong product? If I have dynamic catalog ads, is a lot of budget going to the wrong product? And then for landing page, it's the same thing. Go to Shopify and see my ROAS breaks on the 15th of April. Okay, so from the 15th of April until the 26th, which is today, do I have the case where from that day specifically, there's a landing page with low conversion rate that starts getting a lot of traffic by mistake, yes, that's the bottleneck. So you need to find all of these reasons. Creative fatigue, not much to explain. Basically, you're not refreshing your ad creatives. The same creative gets shown to the same person again and again and again and again and again. Facebook's gonna punish you for this. It's gonna give you higher CPMs. It's gonna put in the ad set creative fatigue. And so high frequency, basically a disaster. So don't do this. And the only way to solve this is by putting out more ad creatives. That's pretty much it. Different angles, different formats, and reach different audiences. Auction overlap and audience overlap. So it's similar to the above. So showing one ad to the same people again and again and again, or going into the same auction with 20 of my ad sets with a very similar ad. So I'm competing with myself. So this means that, and this is a pain in the ass. This is a difficult one. New budget. No, this would be added spend is not equal to new audiences. So your extra ad spend becomes a higher frequency. And this is another pain in the ass. Next one, unaware audiences. So typical thing that I was mentioned, breakthrough advertising. Long story short, as soon as you start scaling, you will start reaching people who are not ready to buy. Why do you think this huge brand, SoloWave, they use this landing page instead of sending people straight to the product page? They send cold traffic to this landing page because cold traffic needs education. It needs persuasion to buy, a little bit of warm up before telling them this is the product that's gonna be $39.99, buy now. Before that, you wanna warm it up a little bit. So they do this type of landing pages. So yeah, basically of an entire, like if you optimize for purchase, at the beginning, so let's say ready to buy audiences, it's not even this big, to be honest. It's gonna be something like, let's do it again. It's gonna be something like this. So I'm not saying the whole audience on Facebook. I'm saying of the whole audience on Facebook, if we make it smaller with the conversion optimization for purchase, the audience gets smaller. And inside of this small audience, the people who are ready to buy is only these people here. And so when you start spending $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, you will spend a little bit of money into these audiences here, but maybe $500 are gonna go to people that are in here. 500, and then if you start spending 10K a day, maybe 5,000 or 7,000 are gonna go to people who are not ready to buy now. And initially this will decrease your ROAS. So then what you have to do is strategies like this. So learn how to sell to cold traffic audiences who are not ready to buy. Again, one of the most difficult things to ever be done when it comes to Facebook advertising. Takes a lot of research, takes a lot of testing, and it's the name of the game if you want to scale. But yeah, how to sell to cold audiences who are not ready to buy. Biggest challenge ever. So this will be messaging, so new angles that are cold traffic friendly, landings, front end offer, and retargeting is included in here because these people need more follow-up. I mean, another reason why ROAS breaks at scale is because you're only scaling cold traffic and you're not following up with these people over and over and over and over again. So that would be another reason. I mean, I don't want to go crazy deep into this, but these will be the main reasons. I don't know in your specific case which one it is. Like, what are you doing of all of these ones? But I hope the video was useful in explaining the possible reasons, what you can do to fix them, and basically my approach after years and years of advertising, I've seen every single one of the problems, and clients push quite a lot to be like, okay, what is going on? What can we do? How can we fix it? So have had many cases, and that's pretty much my approach. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one. Subscribe if you liked it, and leave a comment with any feedback. I read everything. I reply to everything. See you on the next one. Ciao.